do tell us. Okay, so for all of your informations, we also live in our Facebook page, Malaysian Nature Society. Yeah? Okay, so without any delay, and then I'm going to start the our session for today. Okay, first of all, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us for our first Mangrove Education webinar series. So our topic for today is getting to know your mangroves by Dr. Audrey. So my name is Wan Nozalika and I will be your host and moderator today. I'm from Malaysian Nature Society. I'm KPA Program Development Officer. So I'm glad to have my colleague, Ms. Sashikala from MNS, and also Ms. Wan Fatin from UPM to assist our webinar today. So please, Fatin, can you share the slides? Okay, just a little housekeeping. Please mute yourself and your video when not necessary and during the presentation. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box. Okay, I will bring them up later during the Q&A session after the presentation. So before we get started, I'm going to brief a little bit about our program today. This Mangrove Education Program is a collaboration between Malaysian Nature Society and University Putra Malaysia under a project named MEITA or Sustainable Aquatic Resource Management in Mangrove Ecosystem via Internet of Things application. And these webinars aim to increase the awareness and knowledge of the mangrove ecosystem, the importance of its conservation, and introduction to more efficient monitoring methods in mangrove forest conservation efforts through the use of technology. So we are going to have 4 series of webinars starting from today until 6th of October. Okay, so you I believe that all of you already received this information. So even next week we are going to have a session, okay, and it will be on Wednesday as well at 2. So I hope that all of you can join as well for the next session. Okay, and also we will continue on the 22nd for another series of webinar, and also on 22nd of September, and the last webinar will be on 6th of October. So, and students, I believe that all of you already know that we are going to have a quiz and essay competition. So for you to get the e-certificate certified by the Ministry of Education, I hope that all of you can join our quiz and essay competition. Yeah. So these 2 competition is not compulsory and is But it's good lah, because yeah, from all of our webinars today until October, so at least you can also get all the knowledge, and you and then we can have this competition lah, quiz and essay competition. Okay, and we will inform later for this competition on our third webinar, and also on the fourth webinar. All right. So this is our today's agenda. Okay. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our Associate Professor, Dr. Natra Fatin Muhammad Ihsan. So Dr. Natra is the leader of this project, and also Deputy Dean Graduate Studies Research and International, Faculty of Agriculture, University Putra, Malaysia. Dr. Natra, are you here? Hi, Dr. Natra. Yes, please unmute yourself, Doctor.
Okay, all right, okay. Thank you, Zalika, for the nice introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Mangrove Education Program, organized by 3 universities, UPM, UKM, UTM, in collaboration with Malaysian Nature Society, especially for secondary school students, and also open to the public. I can see that some of you cannot hear, but I think most of you can hear, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so let me just proceed. The Mangrove Education Program is actually one of the initiative under a project known as Asia Connect, which is known Asia Connect, known as MEITA, Sustainable Aquatic Resource Management in Mangrove Ecosystem via Internet of Things, basically sponsored by the EU. In this Mangrove Education Program, we have 3 main activities, which is the webinar series that we're having now, a number of competition in terms of poem, photography, and also TikTok videos, so please join. And lastly, international conference, which will all be held from August till November this year. All right. And today, the webinar will kickstart as the first of the 4 series that is organized for you, just for you, to promote awareness on mangrove ecosystem and the importance of conserving the ecosystem using technology. We are fortunate today and also in the coming weeks that we have various speakers who are experts in their own field to share their expertise in mangrove biology, ecology, and also its biodiversity and the use of robots in mangrove conservation. And today we have Dr. Adri from Lestari UKM, who are very prolific in the mangrove area. So do ask a lot of questions to him, okay? And yeah, before I end, I would like to encourage all of you, especially our dear students, to take the opportunity and participate in the various activities that are being planned just for you in support for the conservation of mangrove in our country and also the world. So let us work together to care our mangrove. Thank you. So passing back the mic to you.
Zalika, sorry for interruption. Can you unmute your mic?
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. Before we go any further, so sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to call Dr. Aldri as our speaker today. But before that, let me just have a quick introduction about Dr. Aldri, our speaker. So Dr. Aldri is a mangrove ecologist by training. Is a senior lecturer and research fellow at the Institute for Environment and Development Lestari of UKM, University Kebangsaan Malaysia. So he obtained his PhD in the field of marine science, mangrove ecology from the University of Queensland, Australia in 2011. He has led and participated in various research projects related to mangrove ecology, management and conservation. So he has published many journals, articles, books, chapter in book, and popular writing in the subject matter. He is also a commission member of the IUCN SSC Mangrove Specialist Group and the coordinator of the Malaysian Mangrove Research Alliance and Network, or MyMangrove. Yeah? So without any further, I would like to welcome Dr. Aldrin to give his talk on getting to know your mangroves. Please, Dr. Aldrin, whenever you are ready.
Thank you very much, Zalika. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the organizer, Dr. Natra, and the team for having me, for inviting me for this talk today, and thank you to MNS for being part of this organizing committee for organizing this series of talks, which very interesting, I reckon. So it's very important for students in particular to get to know more about mangroves, because we know there are very limited exposure for all of you through your school syllabus. So events like this should be participated by students to get to know more about your nature, about your surroundings. As Malaysians, you all have to be very proud because we have so many natural heritage and natural richness surrounding us, and one of the more important ones are mangrove forests. So today I will expose to you a very interesting habitat and ecosystem which is called the mangroves. Okay, can you all see the slide?
Yes, Doctor.
Sorry. I try to minimize my own face here. Okay. Okay. All right. So, wait. Okay. I cannot see the crowd, but I hope you can see the slides very clearly. I like to try to make this as interactive as possible, so I may be communicating with many of you later. But first of all, I would like to let you know that this is a very it's gone. Hold on. Where's my slide? Okay, which slide are you seeing now? Is it the first page still? Yeah?
Yes, still the first page.
The first page, okay, good. All right, so this is a very interesting habitat and ecosystem, mangrove forest, because it only exists in tropical countries. So you all know Malaysia is a tropical country. We are very close to the tropical belt on the equatorial belt within the tropics of Cancer and tropics of Capricorn. So mangroves only exist on this belt throughout the world, throughout the globe. And mangrove is, if not the only, I think it is the only forest that you can study, or you can approach, or you can enter from space. You don't be surprised, because I have friends working at NASA, United States National Space Agency, NASA. They have a special team, specialized team to study mangrove. So you can study mangrove from space using satellites, using rockets, using aeroplanes. You can also enter it from the land, the usual one. We will walk on boardwalks. We can enter mangrove from the land, But mangroves also can be approached or can be entered from the ocean. Yeah? Not many forests or not many habitats or ecosystems you can do that. Yeah, approaching them from space, from land, and from ocean. So that's already one very unique thing about mangrove forests. Yeah? So from long time ago, if you open your history books, yeah, learning about explorers, yeah, learning about travelers, yeah, especially during the Renaissance, where the European travel around the world to find resources, to explore the world. They were so excited or stunned, to look at these forests growing right on the edge, of the coastline. Yeah? So this doesn't happen in Europe, doesn't happen in northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. It only occurs in the tropics. So imagine you travel, right, from Europe, from Portugal, from France, from England, on ships, and then when you approach these tropical countries and you see these forests, so it's very unique. So they were excited. This triggered what interest, to know more about our resources. So this was long time ago, and even until today, some people are still excited about getting to know this mangrove. And there are so many things to be explored. So I need all of you, to learn, to listen carefully to this series of talks. So to get to know more about this habitat, and hopefully, after you finish school, you will join us, to join us to become researchers, maybe in ecological studies, particularly on mangroves. Not only as an ecologist, you can contribute in so many other professions. I will explain that later. So first, I would like to as an icebreaker, I would like to have a test or maybe an experiment with all of you, because you've seen this nice picture already. So I would like for all of you to close your eyes for a while. You have to close your eyes. No cheating. Please, no cheating. Including the secretariat. You all have to close your eyes. For 30 seconds to 1 minute. So I want you to visualize. Because everyone, all of you I know, have been at home for quite some time, so haven't been traveling for a while. So I want you to imagine yourself sitting now in front of your computer or your handphone, or your gadget, watching this lecture. Imagine yourself being given a free ticket to travel to your holiday destination. Imagine our new Prime Minister giving everyone attending today a flight ticket to your holiday destination. Okay, still close your eyes, no cheating. No cheating. Imagine yourself receiving a ticket, and then imagine yourself packing your luggage to go for a holiday, and then imagine your Grab car waiting for you outside, to take you to the airport. And then now you are in the aeroplane. Okay, still visualize. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And then your plane take off. Take off for a while. And then the captain say, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are you?" So we are now approaching your destination, and you may now open your eyes. So I would like to ask your opinion when you first open your eyes and looking at this picture. So may I ask maybe Keshwa? Yeah, what do you think when you first look at this picture? What comes to your mind?
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful. Thank you very much, Keshwa. And may I hear from Gobika Mani? Gobika Mani, what do you think when you first look at this picture?
Nature.
Nature. So do you feel like going to this place, Gobika?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. And may I ask one more student, maybe Deshita?
It's very
Yeah.
beautiful, and I like. We can play everywhere. Where we have some views to see, nice
Good.
views.
Good. Okay, excellent. So everyone loves this panoramic view, right? This beautiful natural settings. Right? So if we have a correct set of mind, this must be protected. Do you agree with me, Deshita? Yeah.
Yes.
So and yeah, this natural setting, this nature environment is not just for us, yeah, our generation, but this is for future generations as well, for your children, for your kids, yeah, to enjoy. Yeah. So this is the natural setting that mangrove can provide to all of you. Not just mangrove. If you look closely at this picture, this is a relationship, direct relationship in between mangroves, and the ocean, and the hills and mountains. And you can see underwater, you can see coral reefs, corals all over this surrounding this island, and seagrasses, and then you can see a little bit of beach there, or ecological work in between habitats and ecosystems. So this is the thing that we need to understand. First, I would like to tell you that this gives you some aesthetic um, um, properties or sets that we need to protect, for our generation and for future generations. And this is a very dynamic environment. Dynamic, when I say when I mention dynamic, meaning they are ever changing, meaning they can expand, the mangrove can grow further into the ocean, or if the erosion is very bad or the sea level rising, they can retreat back to the land side. And at the same time, they provide so many for example, when erosion happen, they provide sediment to the nearby habitat or ecosystem, forming an island, create beach. So they're very important in the process of coastal environment. And then because of that panoramic view that Gobika all agree, mangrove has been attraction for many tropical countries for tourism industry. This is in Langkawi. I don't know how many of you, maybe you can raise your hands virtually, or maybe in front of the computer, for if you have been to Langkawi. So Langkawi, Kilim Mangrove in particular receive so many lockdown. They can receive, they could receive 500,000 visitors, almost a million in some years, to this particular site zone, because people want to see nature, people want to get close to nature and get to know more about. So it is a important source of economic income for countries like Malaysia. So protecting it, can actually contribute economic generation, income generation for our country. So don't think about exploiting only. You can protect while making good business the country, sustainably. Okay, if you can look at this picture more from Langkawi, this group of plants, we call it mangrove forest, actually an evergreen forest, just like your forest. Like terrestrial forest, they are actually doing the similar things like what your forest surrounding you. They grow. They have trunks. They have branches. They have leaves. And they undergo photosynthesis process, meaning they absorb carbon dioxide to make food for themselves. And provide oxygen for all of us. But at the same time, you have to understand they are not just an evergreen forest, they are also a wetlands, because in this area, tides come in and out every day. Twice a day in Malaysia, we have tides coming in, one time out, second time out. So every day, the roots of this forest, of this tree, will be covered by water. So this is not normal for other forest habitat, forested habitats and ecosystem. It only happen here on in mangrove forests. So that this is a strange thing that the European a long time ago they came, how this forest grow tidal area, meaning they can be inundated, the roots, the soil, the sediment will be covered by water, and then suddenly it looks dry, but then it looks wet again, right? So this is very unique, strange to many, but very unique in our ecological understanding. So this is how, I will explain in detail a little bit later on how they are known as the kidney of the earth. So mangrove is a type of wetlands. Other wetlands play the same role of absorbing a lot of carbon, but mangrove can do much better than the rest of other forested habitats and ecosystems in the world. I want to take you now, you're still on your plane, although you open your eyes, you're still on your aeroplane now, crossing over the Indian Ocean from Malaysia. Now we arrive in India and Bangladesh. So maybe some of you have been to India and Bangladesh. I haven't been to this place at the moment, but this is where the largest piece of mangrove in the world can be found. So it is on the border of India and Bangladesh. This is the Sundarbans mangrove, which is the largest intact mangrove in the world. So if you have the chance to visit India or Bangladesh in the near future, after the pandemic, pay attention and tell your parents, hey, let's go to Sundarbans and go visit the largest piece of mangrove in the world. So as you can see in the pictures before, you can see so many types of plants already. For example, you can see the different colors of the canopy. So that actually represents different type of species. But here in Bangladesh and India, in the Sundarbans mangrove, you can find Royal Bengal tiger. So for mangrove habitat, it's not just about the plants, it's about the animals also, about the microorganism. You will hear more from my friends in the coming weeks talking about other aspects of mangrove forests. So it's not just about the plants, but it is also a home, a habitat for example, Royal Bengal tiger up left there. In other mangrove, we cannot find Royal Bengal tiger living. So in Sundarbans, you can find it. From that apex predator to so many other types of animals. And in other parts of the world also, you can find other different animals living in the mangroves. You can see elephant roaming around. You can see stingrays, swimming around the mangroves, crocodiles, and bats. Bats love mangrove also. This is very important. If you all love durian, I want to tell you one secret. If you love durian, you have to love mangrove also, because bats are important pollinators for durian. So, but then if you all know, durian only flowers and fruits once a year, maybe twice a year. So if durians don't flower, these bats, if they depend only on durian flowers, they will starve to death, right? Because only 1 or 2 seasons within a year. So the rest of the year, they will come to the mangrove, because mangrove flowers, Soniratia flowers provide the similar or maybe almost similar taste for that bats love to feed on on the pollen and the honey, right? And you can also find jaguar, so, and sharks, so they and for many instances there are so many other animals that depend on mangrove. So this is underwater. So just now I showed you pictures from the sky, from above, from space. And you can later on I will bring you through land, and this is underwater. So you can tackle or approach mangrove from so many angles. And back home here, maybe some of you are from Kuantan or Cerating. Have you been to Sungai Cerating Mangrove? Yeah, maybe some have. Okay, so maybe all of you may know that Sungai Cerating, Sungai Yayah in Kemaman, Kampung Diu in Perak, in Rembau, Sungai Rembau, in Melaka and Negeri Sembilan. Mangroves are home to fireflies. Yeah, so these fireflies, they depend on mangrove as their home. So if we cut mangrove, these fireflies will have no home, to live in. Just like us, if our house is burned down or maybe collapse, we don't have place to live. So this is similar with these animals, these fauna organisms. So they need home to live. So we have to respect that and protect mangrove for these organisms, because we cannot see them during daytime, but suddenly they appear. They actually are there in hiding under the leaves during the day, but we cannot see because it's too bright. Then when the sun is down, we can see them blinking their light. So they are actually home for a lot of fireflies, and at the same time you can find a lot of mudskipper. This is a trademark organism. Maybe have you seen this fish before? They can live in the water and they can jump on land as well. So this is a very unique. So not just the plants are unique, the animals are unique also. And if you love seafood, if you love fish, if you love crab, if you love shrimps, these are home for many of these organisms as well. Okay, so there you go. So now I would like to, this will be a very the most wordy slides, very technical slides that you need to understand. Maybe the teachers will ask you to describe what mangroves are, so you can use this definition. This one I actually revised some of the definitions and combine some of the most important points to explain mangrove. So normally a forested ecosystem are made up by their signature plants. So mangroves are a group of plants that normally grow above mean sea level. I told you about sea level just now, and about intertidal zone, meaning there are tides coming in and out in the coastal environment, and estuarine margin, meaning in the river system at the downstream, you can find mangrove forests. And mangrove, the term, you can also refer it to the specific tree, like mangrove tree, or you can also refer it as collectively as mangrove forest, mangrove habitat, or mangrove ecosystem. And as I mentioned earlier, it is not just made up by plants, but also animals, benthic organism that live there either permanently or temporarily, like migratory birds. You know, migratory birds travel from Russia, from Siberia, from China during winter season, and they will stop by our mangrove forests, our wetlands, before traveling down south, and then later on going up northward. So they stop by. They cannot speed. They cannot fly all the way from northern hemisphere to southern hemisphere. They have to rest, to get their food. So they stop by and meet their friends here in our mangrove. Their tropical friends in the mangrove. So this is very important. So some other important keywords that you need to understand are plants that grow in wetlands are known as hydrophytes, meaning they can tolerate or they need a lot of water. So wetland plants are called hydrophytes, because they live in a very wet environment. Because some of our trees, they cannot tolerate a lot of water, because just a nice amount of water will be sufficient. But for wetland plants, they can tolerate, they can live in a very watery environment. But special about mangroves, about salt marshes, about seagrasses, these, they are known as halophytes. Halophytes meaning they can tolerate salt water. Imagine you pour your salt water to your durian tree, or your banana tree. They will die. They will die instantly because they cannot tolerate salt. But for mangrove, they love this environment. Maybe they don't love it too much, but they can tolerate this extreme condition of being salty. And unlike your durian tree or your rambutan tree, or your whatever flower trees you have around your house, they the soil that they live in, the mangroves, don't have enough oxygen. Unlike your surrounding you on land, the land, the soil is very is filled with enough nutrients, especially oxygen. But in mangrove forests, in wetlands, because they're saturated with water, so they don't have oxygen in their soil. So they live in an anoxic or anaerobic environment. So they have to find ways to get oxygen for their respiration, to breathe. Like us, they have to breathe also. So I will explain on how they find ways to tolerate these situations. Zero oxygen and living in the salt environment. Although they don't need salt, but then they live, and how they tolerate, I will explain later. So they live in the tropical environment, intertidal zone, I told you already, sheltered. And then I want to tell you that this group of trees are very, though they look very macho, their roots very strong, like very, very macho lah, but they are very manja actually, okay? They are very affectionate, very loving trees. I will explain in detail later. Okay, so I hope so far so good. You get this definition right, and I hope your teachers will get this definition right as well. So these are all important characteristics of mangrove. Okay, so another important thing that you all need to understand, especially when we talk about increasing sea level, we talk about climate change. So in the intertidal area, in between this low tide and the highest tide, if you the average of high tide and low tide, you will get mean sea level. Okay, so this is important to know. And someone please turn off your mic. Okay, and then so mangrove can only grow from this zone upwards until here only. Okay, so this is where you need to understand the impact of increasing sea level, meaning when we talk about climate change, sea surface temperature, we're talking about mean sea level. So if we speak about increasing sea level, meaning this mean sea level actually move upwards. So it's not just the mean sea level, but the whole zone will move upwards as well. And that require mangrove to move upwards as well. Okay, so this is important. Mean sea level increases as the zone increases upwards. And the same goes with if one day the sea level decreases, meaning the whole zone will decrease as well. So now our glaciers are melting and everything. It increases the volume of water, so now it's moving upwards. So this is the important point, because if we build things up here, this process will have impacts on mangrove, and I will explain that a little bit later. Okay, so imagine this. Every day tides come in and out, and they live within that zone. So they allow their friends, the mudflats, the seagrass, the corals, to live further down, and the terrestrial forest to live on the higher grounds. But when sea level increases, they have to move, and they will encroach to other zones. All right, so now we approach mangrove from the land. So this is the typical view that you can see. Nitesh Sivaraja, have you been to this forest before? Can you turn on your mic, Nitesh? Oh, cannot. Yeah, Nitesh, can you, have you been to this mangrove forest?
No, sir.
No, okay. So now you have to visualize. Now your aeroplane already landed. Now your parents are taking you to them to see the mangrove from land. Yeah. So this is pretty much a a normal or typical view of mangrove forest in Malaysia. Yeah. So Nitesh, first thing that you see from this picture, what attracts your attention?
The trees are so ugly, sir.
Ugly? Okay. All right. So maybe scary, yeah, because you haven't been to this forest, maybe. So it looks scary, like I told you earlier. But yeah, this is the way. Yeah, this is the way on how they have to adapt themselves to the environment. So they live. If you look in the middle of this picture, you can see some muddy ponds. Yeah. So the muddy is very soft. Even I myself, if I walk in the mangrove, I sometimes can fall down because I cannot stabilize myself, and I'm only like about 60 kilograms. And imagine these trees are super heavy. Yeah, some of them reach tons of hundreds and thousands of kilograms. So they have to find way to stabilize themselves. So these roots, yeah. These roots are important for them to stabilize themselves in a soft, muddy sediment. So this is why they like Satish say it looks ugly, because they have to create these roots to stabilize themselves. Yeah? So at the same time, these roots are important also. Remember, I told you in the soil, in the sediment, they don't have enough oxygen. So they have to breathe in oxygen using their roots. Yeah. So they have breathing roots. Yeah? That's why they have to do this, because unlike other trees, your durian tree, the tree will go down and have their roots underneath the soil, right? So you cannot see them looking strange like this. So in mangrove forest, because the soil have no oxygen, they have to create, to form roots outside the soil and outside from the branch, from the stems. So this is how they breathe. So they have lenticels in their roots to allow for them to absorb oxygen from the water, from the atmosphere. So this is a way for them to breathe, for their respiration. Okay, so they stabilize themselves and they breathe using these roots. So rhizophora, like what you see behind, have stilt roots or prop roots. And Avicennia, for example, they have pencil roots. They have roots extending out under the soil, but they create this snorkel or pencil-like roots to breathe. And you have knee roots as well. Like for Bulgaria, you can have knee roots. So I have this video to show you on how the real situation looks like. Okay, this is Rhizophora roots, and behind this area you can find buttresses. You can find pencil roots and pencil roots are also being called pneumatophores. And you can see knee roots of Bulgaria behind it. Sorry, this video is too fast. And these are prop roots. So in between the roots, you may find little fishes. This is water going down already. So little fishes are hiding, shrimps and crabs living in between these roots. Okay, so just now I told you that they have to absorb a lot of water for their physiological development. But at the same time, they have that lenticels to filter out salt, because this is their ability, to live, how they adapt, evolve, living in the mangrove. They have to develop these lenticels to filter the salt from going into their body, because they are like your plants. They cannot have too much salt, but they have ways to adapt to this salt. So this is what makes them very unique. But then, of course, like us, human, nobody is perfect. So although they have that filter to stop salt from entering their body, some still make it to their body. So they have ways, to excrete this salt. So just like us, we exercise, we go jogging, we play sports, so we excrete our sweat, we sweat, to take out excess salt from our system. So this is the same with mangrove. So you can find salt crystal being formed on the leaves of the mangrove. So this is real thing. So normally in Malaysia, because we have so much rain, heavy rain, so just before you go to the mangrove, the salt crystal will be washed away. But if you go to drier places, this one, I captured this video in Langkawi. Langkawi have some dry period, so we can see this salt. So these are real salt. It's not. So you can go to your nearby mangrove to check out on their leaves. Okay, and another important thing that I want to showcase to you today is another unique thing about mangrove forest is their reproductive mechanism. Meaning, just like your trees, your trees surrounding your house, like your fruit trees. Let's take example durian trees again. So durian trees will drop their fruit when they are mature. Okay, so these are fruits that you break open and you eat durian, and then you throw the seed. The seed that you throw will be germinated and become a new tree. If you put it properly on the soil, or maybe if you just throw, they can grow on land. But mangrove cannot do that. If the parents release their fruits, the one I circle now, the fruit will be washed away by the tides, because tides come in and out every day, remember? So this is not safe for their babies. So that's why I told you earlier, mangroves are so loving, so affectionate. So they allow their babies to grow to become a tree, while still attached to the parent tree. So manja, correct or not, Gobika? This is very manja, right? So meaning their parents let the kids, the children, to grow on them, for until they are ready, to become independent. So what you see here hanging on mangrove trees are actually baby trees. It's not fruits anymore. These are the fruits, but these are the stem. So when the parents know that they are ready, the babies are ready, then they will release them. So this process is called vivipary, vivipary mechanism. So the babies grow on their parents' tree, on the parent trees, and then they will release it. Because I show you this animation that I made by myself. So you when you go on board, you can see all these propagules. The baby trees are called propagules hanging. So when they're ready, the nature knows when it's ready. So some of my friends are studying the moment of the propagules to drop. Some of them say maybe during low tides, maybe during high tides. So, or maybe it's just very random. So these seedlings will drop and get to the soil and straight away come out with their roots. Because like I told you, there are tides coming in and out every day. So if they don't get don't get to the soil as quickly as possible, they will be drifted away. So the chance of them growing will be lower. Yeah. So this is the unique thing about mangrove forests. It's not as what conducive as your durian tree, rambutan tree, mangosteen trees. Yeah. So because the fruits can drop and they can wait and relax on land, and when it breaks open, they become new trees. But for mangrove, they are living in a very extreme condition. So they have to be very smart and intelligent. And this is how they adapt. They have their special roots. They have their special mechanism to give birth or to allow their kids to grow. Okay, so these are all the adaptation mechanism that is carried out by mangrove forests. Yeah? So I hope you understand. This is very basic things that you need to understand. And because I know these basic things, that makes me fall in love with mangrove forever. So I hope you can join me to take care and to love mangrove. Yeah. So hope they will be there forever. Yeah. For our younger generations to enjoy. So some of the tides, some of the seedlings, when the tides come in, they cannot get to root straight away. So some of them drifted away, and when they find a suitable place, they can grow. Okay, so this is an example where I found a new island being formed. Yeah, so imagine this was my boat. Yeah, I took this boat to get to this island, new island that we found. So I had to walk because it's low tide. Yeah, it's low tide. I had to walk to get to this island. But then halfway through, the boat, when we are already working in this forest, the boat can come closer because the tide's already coming in. Yeah? So just before I finish my work, suddenly the whole place is inundated by water. So this is a strange thing. See, because the water comes in, right? I have to get to the boat quickly as possible. So it's very extreme, you know, like it's dry for a while and then suddenly it's swimming underwater, right? So, and I myself have to leave the area because I cannot do work in condition like this. So this is the everyday life of a mangrove forest. So it's not an easy life for them. Yeah. So we need to understand. So by doing that, yeah, by forming a forest on the coastline, so they have a role to play, meaning they defend our coastline, yeah, they defend our country, yeah, from harsh situation like storms, like heavy, strong wave, tidal surge. And if you read some more, maybe because many of you are born after 2004, meaning you didn't experience the tsunami that happened in December 2004. So tsunami came and crashed on our lands. So areas without mangrove were totally devastated. Yeah? But areas with mangrove were protected. So that was one of the important role that they play. So another thing that I want to highlight to all of you, because your generation will face a more extreme situation, yeah, or impacts from climate change. So I would like to highlight to you the importance of mangrove, the importance of protecting mangrove as the planet carbon powerhouse. So I told you just now, yeah, Nitesh, you have to listen to this carefully, yeah? Because all trees, yeah, are important. Yeah? All trees are very important because they absorb carbon dioxide. Yeah, but mangroves can do that better. I will explain how. But first, like Nitesh said just now, he said, "Oh, that forest look ugly, lah." Yes, because people don't understand their role. Because when you see, I don't know if you know this guy, Nitesh. Do you know Clark Kent?
No, sir.
No, okay. So Clark Kent is a very normal person. He is a reporter. Long time ago, he worked in a Daily Planet, a newspaper company called Daily Planet. So everyone, he's just a reporter, a young reporter. So no one really care about him. Yeah, because people think this guy is, biasa-biasa lah, normal guy only, right? But when he turned into Superman, yeah, everyone loves him. Everyone adores him. So you must know Superman, Nitish. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, now you know, right? Because Superman is very important to the people in the movie lah. Yeah, in the movie, because he comes to the rescue to protect the communities, to protect people from disasters. Yeah, so that's why people know Superman, but people don't know Clark Kent, just like Nitish just now, right? So this is the similar thing about mangrove forest. So when they see mangrove, very ugly, not good lah, very dark, very scary, so they cut mangrove, but they forgot about the global role that Superman play, which is the alter ego of Clark Kent. Yeah, so that happens in Superman movie only, right? So but then the enemy, the real enemy that we are facing today is very, very strong. Yeah? They are attacking all of us at every corner of the planet. Yeah, so we all know, just now I told you that climate change, increase in temperature in the atmosphere, is caused by the carbon, carbon dioxide that we pump into the atmosphere. From since before the industrial revolution, and until today, we produce a lot of carbon. The amount of carbon is now increasing, in the atmosphere, that leads to increase in temperature in the atmosphere, and at the same time increase in temperature in the ocean that cause glaciers on land to be melted. Now sea level is rising. Remember I told you sea level, the mean sea level is moving upwards, because of our action. But then we don't have Superman to protect us. Correct or not, Nitish? We don't have Superman to protect us. So because that happens in fantasy only, in our dream only, in our movies only. But what we have on earth, what God has blessed earth with, what nature have given us, are mangrove forests to assist us. So how did that happen? So mangrove forest, like I told you, is similar to other trees. They absorb carbon dioxide, for their photosynthesis. And this carbon is stored in their biomass, correct? Okay, so but other forests also do the same. They keep it in their biomass. But as you all know, green leaves will turn yellow and turn brown, and they will drop. Okay, so in normal forest, leaves will wait for microorganism to dissolve them, and they become organic matter, and they stay on the surface of the land. But
Okay,
in
sir.
mangrove it's different.
Okay,
It's
sir.
it's very different here in the mangrove, because in mangrove there are crabs, there are other organisms that feed on these leaves. So these crabs not just feed, not just eat this crab on land, but they take the leaf inside into their crab holes, into their burrows. So the carbon, someone is turning on their mic, and it's too loud. Okay, so this leaf contain high amount of carbon, and it goes straight away into the soil, into the sediment. And so that allow mangrove to keep all the carbon intact within the system, so it doesn't leave the habitat or ecosystem, and it is being sequestered in their system, in their soil, for as long as possible. So a lot of amount of carbon in the soil are being kept in the mangrove. So this is why mangrove is very important as the most efficient carbon sequester in the world. It's way better than other habitats and ecosystem. And this is why mangrove forests, seagrass, salt marshes, they are combined, they are grouped, and be called a blue carbon ecosystem. Of course, carbon dioxide is colorless, but they call it blue carbon because this is carbon being stored in the coastal or marine environment. And this is very important because they are super high. They are high amount of carbon in the soil, and the rate of carbon dioxide absorption is very high as well in the mangrove forest. So this is how they are very powerful as carbon sequester. Okay. I just realized it's already 3:25. Fatin, are we good with time? I have quite a lot of.
Yeah, doctor. Maybe you have another 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Now
Yeah?
it's 3:20 at 3:19.
Okay,
So
I think
yes.
we need to organize an episode 2 because I didn't even read half of my slide. Anyway, I hope it whatever I exposed to all of you today is very beneficial already. Very important basic understanding about mangrove. And I think maybe this will be the last section because okay, so mangrove is very important. So all of you know, this is if you look at Malaysia, from coastline, from a coastal area, you look towards land side, you can see highlands, or mountains, in the middle. These are actually the backbone of our country. So these highlands are backbone of our country, of our land. And on these highlands, you can find, this is where rivers started. So many rivers actually flow from this mountain, flowing on our land, crossing our towns, our cities. The river carries water with it, nutrient with it, to irrigate, to fertilize the land. And it carries also sediment, it carries minerals, it carries natural pollutants, and all of these pollutants, all of these nutrients, sediment will be deposited into the mangrove before the water being flushed into the ocean. Okay, so this is the role that mangroves are playing also, that filtering out sediment and nutrient and pollutant before the water goes out to the ocean. So this is important because this is in natural setting. But if we are so bad, we pollute our rivers and we cut mangroves, so the rivers will be very polluted, and the pollutant actually will have effect on other ecosystems, like seagrass and coral reefs. These are our favorite neighbors, seagrass and coral reefs. So we protect, mangrove protect seagrass and coral reef from pollutants, from sediments on land. But at the same time, mangrove protect the land, from storms, from heavy, strong waves, from wind, protecting the communities as well. So this is the work that mangroves are doing, in between, in connection with other habitats and ecosystem. So in simple terms, these are some of the functions or roles that mangrove play, to protect, as a natural coastal buffer. They are the important sink for nutrient, like just now. They sink, they keep carbon, in their system. They are important habitat or niche, for many types of flora and fauna. So fish come to the mangrove, to lay their eggs, for example. And the forest also provide food for humans, for other organisms. Like I told you, it's home for birds, habitat for migratory birds also to find their food. So it's like an R&R. If you drive from Johor to Perlis, you have to stop by R&R to buy food, to go to toilet, to do your stuff, to rest for a while. Your father will be tired driving, so they need rest. So it's the same with the migratory birds. And also, it is not about mangrove alone, because they live in the it is a doorway, yeah, to go to the ocean from the land, and it also, yeah, the arch before entering the rivers or land. You will see mangrove first, so they are very important as a intermediate habitat and ecosystem in between land and sea. Okay, all right. So this picture actually explain that. Yeah, so we know the role that they play. So humans have been depending on mangrove for the longest of time. Yeah, so if you look at your history book again, yeah, many civilizations actually started off, yeah, during at major rivers and estuary, right? So some of the, okay, so if you look at your history books, yeah, so you can learn about this civilization. Yeah, you can find them growing or established in the major rivers or estuaries. So along the tropical belt, like I told you earlier, yeah, you can find mangrove forests growing on these major rivers. So meaning, yeah, human dependency on natural ecosystem like mangrove have been there since forever. Okay, so we depend on mangrove forests, yeah, for our sustenance, for our livelihoods, for as long as we can remember. But what we need to understand today is the threat that we are putting on the mangroves, yeah, because we now forget on the importance of mangrove. Yeah, we use them, yeah, to enrich ourselves, but now we are crossing the border. Yeah, we are threatening them now. Okay, so as we grow, yeah, to become a high income country, our population grows, yeah, but then we are giving impacts on mangrove. So yeah, so we have to be very careful. Yeah, we have to plan properly. Yeah, we have to manage our environment and ecosystem properly to ensure that mangrove can survive, yeah, for the longest time. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is actually the planned second section of the talk, Zalika. So it's now 3:30. I thought we end at 4:30, right?
Yes, doctor. But because we start earlier for 2:15, so doctor, if you can continue also, if you have
yeah,
more slides, yes.
Okay, all right. So okay, okay, what time should we finish?
Doctor, can we finish at 3:40?
3:40, yeah. Okay,
Yes.
so another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, all right. So I can very quickly go through the second part of the lecture. Okay. So these are some of the impacts that we have on mangroves. Yeah. So remember I told you they only grow on the tropical belt. Okay. So now imagine yourself, yeah, flying to the space, now looking at our Earth. So this is the equatorial belt. Yeah. So we have to be very proud, like I told you earlier, because in our region, yeah, we can find the highest amount of mangrove. Yeah, the species is the most abundant. The area, yeah, mangrove coverage is the biggest within this zone as well. But at the same time, this zone, yeah, is highly threatened. Yeah, the most mangrove loss recorded is also within our region. Yeah, because like I said, we wanted to become, we want to increase our economy. Yeah, we want to become a developed nation. Yeah, a developed region. So we exploit mangrove. Yeah, we build, we turn mangrove into aquaculture ponds, for example. Whereas in the mangrove itself, you can find shrimp. Yeah, you can find fish. Yeah, but we are so greedy, we cut the mangrove forest just to breed fish or prawn. Yeah, so we lose biodiversity. What about other organisms that want this space to live? Remember I told you, so if we build we turn it into ponds, for example, we change, yeah, the habitat. Yeah, we stop other organisms from using this habitat. Yeah, So that's one. And then as we go, yeah, these aquaculture pond cannot last for many years. Yeah, only maybe 10 years maximum, maybe. Yeah, and then because there will be too much nutrient, yeah, so the fish, the shrimp cannot live in this area anymore, and they left, yeah, these ponds abandoned. So this is dangerous because when you leave ponds abandoned, yeah, this will welcome bad or negative consequences, yeah, like maybe mosquitoes, yeah, like and other issues, yeah, like pollution. Okay, so we have to manage this properly. So one day some of you will become managers, yeah, will become a politician. All right. So bear in mind that these activities, yeah, is unhealthy. So what we have to do now is regulate. Maybe we have to tell these operators to restore this mangrove back, yeah, or to change this area from ponds into mangrove again, yeah. And this kind of development is very negative, yeah, because like I told you earlier, in mangrove, the tides come in and out every day, right? So if we have this kind of development in mangrove forest, this is very dangerous, not just directly to the mangrove, but also to the rivers, yeah, to the fish that we eat, because this area will need a lot of pesticide and herbicide, yeah, to maintain the grass. Yeah, so this will flow into the river, and our fish will eat this pesticide, yeah, this herbicide, and we will eat the fish. So it's very dangerous. It will pollute the water, and it just doesn't make sense. If the water increases, if the tide very high come into this area, it will damage this kind of development. Yeah, like I told you earlier, this is a very simple animation that I make myself. I took like 3 hours last night to finish this. So, okay, imagine tides come in and out every day. So we built some physical development. Yeah, we have our aquaculture, our golf course, our hotels and resort. Yeah, so the water still needs to space, yeah, to flow, to the land. But if now we have physical structure stopping the water from entering, yeah, and some days we will have very strong wave or storms at hitting our coastline, and so this actually will cause mangrove to be eroded, yeah, because imagine, this is simple physics, yeah, for all of you who learn physics from 4, from 5, yeah, you will learn action will create reaction, yeah. So this simple physics process actually explain on how we actually contribute to the erosion on our coastlines, yeah? And the matter will become worse with the increasing in sea level, yeah, because if we have walls, if we have aquaculture ponds, if we have physical development, yeah, we will stop, we won't allow sea level to increase properly and the zone to adapt properly. Remember I told you, increase means sea level, the whole zone will increase, mangrove will move upwards. So now if we build walls of physical development, we will not allow that process to happen. Okay, and then as sea level rises, this area will be inundated forever, and this is not suitable anymore for mangrove. So it's too late for us to restore or to plant or to allow mangrove to grow, because they cannot live in inundated area. They don't live in the ocean. They live in the intertidal zone, yeah, where tides come in and out. Okay, because inundated, they will be choking, just like us. We cannot live in the water forever, right? We will choke. So it's the same with mangrove forest. So this needs to be you have to think of this properly to ensure better protection of mangrove in the future. And another issue, to me, this is very critical issue, because like Satish just now, because he thought hey, this looks so ugly. So we have to change that mindset, Satish and friend. You have to think like this, yeah. So if we think it's bad, it's not important, we tend to cut them and change them, yeah. But we need, like I told you earlier, these are all important things that we need to understand about mangrove. So from long time ago, people thought, oh, there's no use, this mangrove is no use. So they turn this area into a landfill. They throw all our rubbish into this mangrove area. So I told you this is very dangerous because tides come in and out, and in wetlands like mangrove, there are underground water system, yeah, which the impact of landfill will cause leachate, yeah. So pollutant will go into the soil, into the sediment, yeah, into the underground water system, and it later will be fed into this river, and again it pollutes, yeah. So this is dangerous also because intertidal, the tidal process, like I told you earlier. Okay, so again another animation to explain this. So if you have landfills, or you throw your rubbish anywhere on the ground, it will later flow into the ocean, yeah, into our mangrove. So when tides come in, yeah, they will carry, yeah, this rubbish away. It's just like how they carry the seedlings just now. So, and then if you look at this as three colors, red, maroon, and brown. So this brown is already stuck in the seagrass, because the tides carry them. But the problem starts with us because we throw or we put our rubbish, we don't manage our rubbish properly. And then the tides carry, and then sometimes when storm comes, they push the maroon rubbish here, and then suddenly new rubbish come into the mangrove, right? The yellow one, but the red one is gone. Where did it go? Can you tell? Yeah, so now it stops somewhere, it become a pink ball here. All right, so it can travel, yeah. If we don't manage our rubbish properly, our rubbish will travel, yeah, and it will go elsewhere to other places and spoiling other habitats and ecosystems. Okay, I will explain in detail about this picture, so you visualize again, because I know you cannot go to the field at the moment. But when you look at this picture, very terrible situation, So remember I told you about seedlings, the parents will release them, the baby, and the baby will need soil to grow. But if you have area filled with plastic bottles, with garbage like this, there's no chance for the babies to grow. And this plastic, will be the chemicals coming from this rubbish, the plastic will pollute the environment. So your fish, when the tide comes in later, bring in fish, and some shrimp and crabs actually live under here, and they will eat all of these pollutants, and later on we catch them and we eat them. So now we have microplastic and nanoplastic in our system because we don't manage our plastic, our waste properly. Anywhere you throw, just outside your house, even in your house, if you throw from your window, the rubbish is not managed properly. So it will later on flow, into the drainage, it will flow into the river, and eventually it will go here, into the coastal area in the mangrove, because they have this special route to actually trap sediment and nutrient. But now they are trapping your waste. So I want all of you, to be careful. Don't throw even this small plastic. Don't throw simply outside your window or your car, or outside your house. When you get present or gift, open it properly. Keep the plastic wrapper or paper wrapper properly. Don't and throw it away just like that. Okay. And when you eat sweets, or lollipops, take out the plastic and make sure you throw it in a proper waste bin, and make sure these waste are being managed properly by your municipality. So we don't want this to happen. Okay, so this is very important. And remember, imagine I went to this one site to study this mangrove. Yeah, so this mangrove is already maybe 15, 20 years, and the root, yeah, when the baby tree, imagine the baby actually create that root, right? So this plastic was already there when this tree was baby, and the root cross the handle, cross the handle, and it stays there still for 15 to 20 years now. Imagine, yeah. I wanted to study this mangrove, but spoiled by this view. Yeah? So imagine how many more years this plastic bottle will stay. Yeah, and this tree will grow slightly bigger, and yeah, the plastic will still be there. So this is the impact. It is very long term, yeah, long term impact. So now we know, yeah, the importance of mangroves. Yeah, I hope this lecture is very beneficial for all of you. So we know, yeah, how important mangroves are. So we have mangrove, we protect ourselves, we protect the community, we protect our properties. Yeah? There's no mangrove, we will hit directly, yeah, by tsunami, by other climatic hazards and oceanic hazards. Yeah. So what do we do? Yeah, what do we do? Okay, I think this is the ultimate final section, Zalika. So what do? We have to contribute. Yeah, we have to contribute, but we have to do it properly. Yeah, we have to learn on how to assist in nature conservation. Yeah, so how to do is to do research, is to understand the natural environment, yeah, properly. Yeah, for example, in nature there are disturbances, which are good disturbances, which explain on how mangrove forests, yeah, can react, yeah, to disturbances. So we need to learn about this. Yeah. So for example, here, this is your normal forest. So one day lightning strikes, hit and kill a group of trees. Yeah. So this will allow baby trees. It will create a canopy gap. Yeah. And it will give chance for baby trees to grow. Yeah. To eventually replace their parent trees. Yeah. So this is their cycle of life. Yeah. Nature disturbance come, yeah, to allow for the forest to rejuvenate itself, because this is, like I told you, mangrove forest cannot grow big, cannot grow fat, because the land they grow on is very soft. So if they grow very big and very fat, they will fall, because the sediment, the soil is very soft. So it will create a domino effect. So before they grow really old, natural disturbances will come in the form of lightning strikes, in the form of insects, to kill a group of trees and to allow for baby trees to grow. Because baby trees, they cannot fight with their parents for light and nutrient, because they're very small. So the parents actually die gracefully after being hit by lightning strikes or other natural disturbances, to allow for new trees to grow. So that's why I call mangrove forest, a forever young ecosystem. You very seldom see very old or very fat trees in mangrove forest. But my worry now is with climate change, with there will be additional or extra increase activities or atmospheric activities. There will be more storms, there will be more rain, there will be heavy increase of lightning strikes, which may not be good, because if too much canopy gaps are being created at the same time, the habitat, the ecosystem may not have time to recover. So this is why we need to reverse the impact of climate change. So what you can do, is join your community, be part of the community to restore mangrove. And maybe one day, if you become engineers, if you become managers, you can help, you can assist in protecting our mangrove forest, to get, for all of us to enjoy the ecosystem services that mangrove provide. So there are many things that needs to be done. by the authorities, by the managers, by scientists, by communities, and we need some strong support from the politicians as well, to get all of these services, benefits from mangrove. And of course, we need to collaborate, we need to work together. And I hope this series of lecture from mine to Professor Atif will help you to change your perception towards mangrove. So we'll look at them from the services that they provide, on the benefits that they provide. Because this is important also. Our perception will influence our decision, will influence our laws. And this is my picture actually looking behind, calling for all of you to participate in protecting nature, in doing research on mangroves, in increasing awareness on mangroves. So we all have to work together. So don't think, by listening to this lecture today, don't think about mangrove is to be studied or to be managed only by ecologists or marine scientists or foresters. We need all of you to work together. So I put teachers here in the middle here. Teachers play a very important role as well, to educate younger generations, and of course other expertise. So one day you will become zoologists, for example. So we need you to understand the animals in the mangrove, for example. Geologists, we need geologists. We need more geologists to explain all of these natural processes happening in the mangroves, in the coastal area. We need engineers to work with us, ecologists, to work with us, botanists, and we need social scientists. All of these, we have to work together to ensure mangroves are being properly researched, properly managed, properly protected. So it's not just one person's job, it's all of our job. And you can see from this series of lecture, Professor Atif is a robotic expert, AI expert. So he participates in how to do research in mangrove. And we have expert on microbiology, we have expert on water quality, that will address all of you in the coming weeks, to explain about mangroves from different angles. And to do that, you can join. You can join us on our Facebook group. www.facebook.com/group.my/mymangrove, to participate, to learn, and to participate in research, in management, in protection of mangrove forests. So all of you can be part of this. And why we are doing this? We want to ensure that mangroves are there, providing all of the key ecological ecosystem services for our generation and for future generations. And because of the huge amount of services and importance, so this is our role, particularly our generation, the senior generation, our leaders today, my generation and your generation, to ensure that we reach and achieve the ultimate goal of having a sustainable world for everyone. So I end the lecture here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aldri, for sharing with us about the mangroves ecosystem and also their importance. It's very interesting topic, and thank you so much for sharing with us again. And now we are now ready for Q&A session. So I would like to remind everyone again, please type your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute your speaker and ask the questions. So yes, any questions now? Or I can read the questions. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll ask Dr. Adria. One question from Midzoy John, SMK St. Joseph. So he asked these questions earlier. how can these mangrove trees can take water since the high level of salt can create a hypotonic environment?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. Yeah, this is the thing, the situation, the adaptive mechanism that I've explained earlier. So this is very extreme condition for any trees to grow, yeah. Coastal environment because of the salt condition, because of the salinity, and this is where they use the lenticels. They develop this special cell on their roots to filter out salt. Yeah, so they know the situation is not conducive for them to grow. So how they do it is by producing a lenticel, producing roots first, root system to adapt, and then at the same time creating or having or forming these lenticels to filter out, to allow the osmosis process, but then to filter out salt in the first instance. But then like I told you earlier, salt does enter the system, very some amount depending on the on type of species or trees, the efficiency in filtering out salt depends on species as well. So the amount of the soil entering salt entering the system will then being excreted through their leaves. So this is important component that we need more people to study, and of course we have basic understanding of some various species and their adaptation mechanism. But then we need more. We need more people like you. I can't remember the name, but yeah, please explore this further, and hopefully I will see some plant physiologists in the near future explaining in detail about this situation. Yeah? So you are right, and this is also why I explained earlier. Other trees hate hate salt water because of this situation. Yeah, because not all plants can tolerate this, and mangroves can do that. Or halophytes, all halophytes, meaning sea grasses, they have a similar mechanism. Salt marshes, they have special mechanism, to filter out and to screen the amount of salt coming in. Yeah. Okay,
Thank
I
you,
hope
Doctor.
that explains. Yeah, this is an adaptive mechanism or adaptation mechanism, and they evolve this. They evolve by producing this for many hundreds and thousands of years already. Yeah, so yeah, this is the evolutionary process that we are still exploring, and there are so much to learn and so much to discover about mangroves. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Doctor, the person who asked the questions earlier, he said that he's planning to pursue in marine biology.
Good. Thank you. What was the name? Can I?
Midzoy
Oh,
John, you
Midzoy
can
John.
see,
Okay, good.
you can see in the chat box. And we have a lot of questions in the chat box. Very good, everyone, participants, all the students. Very nice of you to ask questions here. And yes, regarding about the salt, one of the participants, one of the students also asked if they can use the salt released by the mangrove on the leaves. Can we use it? The release of the salt.
Yes. Yes. Actually,
Yeah, this one by Shah.
these are real salt, right? So in many trips with students, with visitors, with friends, I lick the salt, and it is really salty. Yeah, and in fact, I have friends working in Middle East, in the African mangrove, and they've captured camels grazing on the Avicennia leaves. Perhaps they like salty leaves. So yes, they are edible, they are safe, but like I told you, at your own risk, because nowadays rains polluted as well. So we have heavy acid rain, for example. So they can stick on the leaf and maybe mix with this salt. So just be careful. But these are real salt, and I've tasted them before. So I didn't show you, right? The salt that I touched on, or using my thumb just now. Yeah, actually, you can lick it, and it's real salt. Okay? So it's very natural. And so if you all love to cook and you find yourself short of salt, you can go to your nearby mangrove. But again, because in Malaysia we have heavy rain like every day, almost every day, or every other day. So by the time you go, the salt crystal are already being washed. But in drier areas, you can find the salt, particularly in specific species like Avicennia or Sondracia. Yeah.
Okay, everyone. While we are having this Q&A session, please check your chat box. We have the attendance form. For those who are here, please fill in while we continue the questions. Yeah, Doctor. Okay, so another questions about the, I think, wait, hold on, yeah, let me scroll. There's this one questions about the leaf. Are lenticels same as hydathodes? This is by Mastura. Are lenticels same as hydathodes, or are they differ in physiology but have the same function?
No, actually, yeah, possibly the same function. But then because this is the way of adaptation, right? So yeah, possibly they can play almost the similar role, similar functioning. So they extrude, or they work like snorkels, growing out from the soil, just to do these two functions, to stabilize the trees and to absorb oxygen at the same time, to absorb nutrients as well. Yeah, so they're almost similar. Yeah.
Okay, and okay, this is a question earlier by Kalisa. Is there any existing, this is about the disposal of waste lah. Is there any existing organizations that maintain the disposal of waste in Malaysia, especially for environmental concern? Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. This is the municipality role. Yeah, so every towns or district that you live in, yeah, there is a municipality in charge. Okay, so you have to understand on how our system, our governance, environmental governance system works. So you have the land, or this land office, to manage the land, but everything on land is being managed by this municipality. So including your waste. So there are systems. For example, there are days that they come to pick up your waste. Okay, so pay attention to this system, because if the lorry trucks come on Wednesday, be sure to collect all your waste in the house, to be thrown there maybe the night before or the morning before the truck comes in, because if you don't properly or pay attention to the system, heavy rain may come, flood may happen, and your waste may be washed by these natural events or natural disaster. So pay attention to waste management system, and join the efforts to recycle, to reuse, or reduce your usage of plastic, for example, or other materials. So some municipalities very proactive in separating waste, for example, and some communities are very proactive also in managing waste and promoting recycling, promoting reusing or reducing, and perhaps to share resources as well. So participate in this. And then, as I said earlier, anywhere in Malaysia, anywhere you stand, anywhere you live, you are actually standing on a river basin, a river basin system. So if you throw your rubbish or your waste, it is already entering a hydrology system. Yeah, and in Malaysia, sadly, we don't have proper storm water management. Yeah, meaning our drain, straight away lead to rivers. Our rivers straight away lead to ocean. Yeah, so we should back up on our effort in managing our storm water, our drainage system, irrigation system, and then to treat, and then as well as to treat rivers, and then before entering the ocean. So we can see marine debris or plastic pollution in rivers, in ocean, right? So both sides, from rivers, from ocean, they will meet in the mangrove. So mangrove is the most suffered the most from this situation. So thank you for the question. Good that you are paying attention to that. So be part of your community, be part of your school system, to manage your waste. Because although we live on land, although we live on the mountains, we will have impact. If we don't manage this properly, we will have impact on the mangrove downstream, on the ocean, maybe because it's all connected, right? Our ocean are connected to Atlantic Ocean, in fact, to Antarctica. So yeah, we contribute whatever small. You may be surprised, your lollipop plastic will end up in maybe South America. So that's how far your waste footprint can go.
Doctor. I would like to ask also, other than how to say, we have to take care of our rubbish. What other things that the students can do now to protect and conserving the mangrove?
Okay. So besides waste, maybe use less resources, for example. And okay, so you all know that mangroves are habitat for fish, for other animals as well. So consume sustainably as well. So if there's no demand, there will be no supply. So if we want to help, for example, artisanal fishers or local fishers, they are the most affected, by operation of clearing mangrove to build aquaculture ponds, for example, or to build other facilities, resorts or whatnot on mangrove. So people cut mangrove to build aquaculture ponds because they want, they demand for more shrimps or more specific food supply, right? And this is not sustainable because the habitat, the ecosystem is home to many species. I have this one, a couple of my friends working on this, just published an article that explain that a marine organism that live in mangrove, they have specific roles to play in the ecosystem or habitat. Like the redundancy of roles are very low, meaning specific organism will play specific role in the habitat or ecosystem. So if we cut or if we clear some portion of the mangrove habitat, we may cause that particular species or organism to be lost within the same habitat and ecosystem, and we lost some roles, some ecological roles or functions within the ecosystem, which eventually will have bigger impacts to the whole habitats and ecosystems, and to the global situation. So that's one. And then other than that, education. So now you know a little bit about mangrove already. Maybe from different angles and different understanding, you can tell your families, in fact, after this lecture, you go and speak to your parents, to your brothers or sisters, and talk to them about mangrove, and learn about. You can go to my website to to read some relevant articles about mangrove, or in fact you can watch this lecture again or past lectures to get to know more about mangroves, and tell them this is one way that you can increase awareness, educate your family, your colleagues, your friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you tell them about mangrove and they will open up their eyes, to know better about their surrounding. And this is important because mangrove is a trademark habitat for tropical countries like Malaysia. So if we don't know, if we don't take care of our mangrove, it's a sad thing. And then people coming from Europe, people coming from Americas, to learn, they appreciate our mangrove so much. They learn about our mangrove, but then we ourselves, we don't care about our mangrove. So this is disappointing. So that would be some ways that you can contribute. And of course, like I told you earlier in the lecture, be part of the community. So if you have chance, participate in efforts to restore or to rehabilitate mangrove, but do it with scientific support. Do it with knowledge. Don't simply plant mangrove anywhere. Like just now, I couldn't detail out on the restoration part. I went very quickly because of the time. But the point is to do it with scientific support. You don't simply plant mangrove on the beach. You don't simply plant mangrove on seagrass or coral area. These are different habitats altogether and they are connected. But do it. Restore or rehabilitate disturbed mangrove, for example. So you have mangrove area disturbed, by maybe people cutting. So you help to replant. Of course, they can do it naturally. Seedlings will flow. They will float and find roots and take roots there. But some may need our assistance. Like for example, just now also there was a picture of aquaculture pond, an abandoned aquaculture pond. So by breaking the wall of that aquaculture pond, seedlings can travel. The tides carry the seedlings for them to take root, and they grow naturally. So minimal effort, minimal effort put by human by just breaking the wall of aquaculture ponds can contribute to allowing for mangrove to grow naturally. So what more if you do it properly, with checking the elevation, making sure that the sediment is properly suitable for mangrove. So these are some of the things. Of course, there are so many other things that you can contribute.
Okay, students, so start sharing the knowledge today to your friends and family, okay? All right, so we have questions also from Facebook Live. Philip Raju, if you are there, you ask a questions to Doctor. Is mangrove forest being over-timbered for charcoal industry, and has this reached a threat to ecology? This is at Kuala Sepetang, Perak.
What was the question again?
Is mangrove forest being over-timbered?
Okay.
Yes, over-timbered.
Okay, good. There was a series of slides about charcoal also earlier, but I have to skip it through. I don't know why my timing is so bad today, but but then the management of Matang Mangrove in Perak has been there for more than 120 years now, to produce charcoal and poles. So this is important actually, if I can take some time to explain. If you remember, again, open your history books, you will realize the first railway track ever built in Malaysia, was to connect Taiping and Kuala Sepetang in Matang lah. So this locomotive, that was the first railway track ever built in Malaysia, but then we cannot see any remnant except for the Port Well punya signage lah. But then it was used at that time. Yeah, it was very conducive at that time because they want to transport tin, yeah, being mined in Taiping. That actually creates a Taiping Lake Garden. It is a constructed wetlands. It's a man-made wetland. Yeah, to tin mine, to mine tin and to transport it for export, and they use locomotive and bring it to Port Well. And this locomotive were fueled by mangrove timber, charcoal. So it was suitable at that time. But then they found that mangrove is very easy to manage, meaning they grow very systematically and they cut very systematically to provide this specific amount of charcoal at one time. So every year there are limited or restricted amount of charcoal production that is being permitted by Forestry Department. So it is systematic in a way. So that way also the permit production, the licensing, and then the production of charcoal based on the amount of charcoal kilns actually control the amount of charcoal being produced or timber being cut. So this is one way of managing it sustainably. Of course, by producing or managing forests this way, we lose the diversity, right? So if you know, in Matang Mangrove, the area that they are being managed to produce charcoal, we can only find Rhizophora apiculata and Rhizophora mucronata, bakau minyak and bakau kurak only, because these are the only trees species used to produce charcoal. But there are also areas gazetted as Virgin Jungle Reserve within Matang. So these are some of the efforts by Forestry Department to maintain the species diversity of Matang Mangrove. But of course, the portion is very small. So you get this give and take, meaning you want to produce charcoal for economic income, for the state, for the local communities, but at the same time to maintain the size or to maintain the habitats and ecosystem. So yeah, this is the challenge that we have. So what needs to be done now is to study or to understand the success, the efficiency of the management system. So we cannot just rely on the system forever, right? So we have to revise and study. And now a lot of study in Matang is looking at the productivity, the soil, the health, the quality of the forest. So yeah, it is an ongoing, it's a continuous effort to understand or to study the habitat and ecosystem. But there is a control measure in which Forestry Department is regulating it to ensure it is not overcut, over harvested, and of course also to maintain the forest. So by gazetting Matang Mangrove as a forest reserve, although for production, they managed to maintain the size of mangrove forest. So that was some of the slides that I went through very quickly just now. It shows that in 1970s to 2000s, there are natural increase of area. Some areas are being expanded. The mangrove are being expanded just by maintaining that area as a forest reserve. So that is actually the first thing that we need to do now. We maintain and stop encroaching into our natural forest, our natural mangrove. Don't enter it and encroach it and cut it anymore. Whatever we have at the moment, we protect it first. So speak if you have your relative being a politician nowadays, or someone very high up in the administration. So whisper to them saying, hey, this is mangrove area nearby your house. Why don't we protect this? We gazette this as a forest reserve. Because just by protecting it, we can already ensure that they will be to allow them to undergo all these dynamic processes, natural processes. and providing ecosystem services. Because if we don't protect, people will simply cut. People will simply encroach and cut them and spoil them. So although it is a forested system, a forested environment, that doesn't mean they are protected. So this is another thing that we need to be careful. And not all forests in Malaysia are protected forests. So we have to check also. Check with your authorities and ask them, hey, this mangrove behind my house, is this a protected forest? If it's not, can we protect that? Please protect that. Okay. So influence your surrounding, influence your authorities, influence your politician, influence your family and friends to do good for the environment. Okay?
Okay. Doctor, can we go further to another question?
Yes, please.
Okay. So maybe we can start at 4:30, but for now we have like 2 questions which I combined together from Iman and also Shri Sontaria Muralidharan. So she asked, do mangrove grow on sea coast with no river nearby, and how can we compare mangrove species?
Sea coast?
Yes.
The first question, what was that?
Do mangrove grow on the sea coast area? I think perhaps it's nearby the beach. I think that nearby the sea without no river, I guess.
Okay, so this is important. If you go back to my earlier slide on the requirement to have a proper the basic requirement that needs by the mangrove to establish themselves, there would be conducive environment in which they receive just a nice amount of water and suitable sediment. So you're right. Actually, they will grow. They will flourish better in a better hydrated area. For example, if sufficient amount of fresh water and rainfall, they love this condition. Like I told you, they are like terrestrial forests. They need water to grow, and they can tolerate high amount of water because they are hydrophytes, and they can tolerate salt water because they are halophytes. But then the supply of fresh water will be better for them to grow, to flourish better. And of course, temperature as well. So that's why we have higher, bigger amount and diversity in Malaysia compared to Central Australia. East coast of Australia, for example. Because they are colder water there. And then maybe less rainfall there. So they have lower diversity and low stunted mangrove, for example. And here, the same species, Avicennia marina, can grow maybe to 25, 30 meters. There, maybe 1 to 2 meters, adult tree, for example. In South Australia, for example, Southeast Australia. So these conditions are very important, and they prefer sheltered shorelines, sheltered coast. They cannot grow in exposed coast because the tide activity or the wave will be too harsh for them. That's why you don't see. That's why the nature allows some area to be beach, to be beach forest, to have rock beach, rock coast, for example, and some mangrove coast. But mainly they love sheltered areas. So if you see islands, these islands will block the coastline. So they will prefer somewhere there. And estuary, estuary, they love estuary because it's sheltered. So less velocity of storm. They're protected from storm, for example. And west coast of Peninsular Malaysia, you can see in a macro scale, it is actually being protected by Sumatra. So that's why also they grow, where they flourish on the Straits of Malacca, because we are protected by Sumatra. So you can see them in micro scale to macro scale. And then, for example, the first photo that I showed earlier, when you open your eyes in the beginning, that is an oceanic mangrove. They live right there in the middle of ocean. Of course, I'm still studying that area to understand on how they first established. But this is an example of where fresh water is very minimal to answer that question. So meaning they can still grow. They depend on fresh water coming from rains because there's no rivers there, surely. But then that's why they are not as as big as the one on the mainland. So I think the maximum height was only 8 meters to 9 meters tall because they are stressed. So this is the stress condition. Meaning they're too salty and they have to work. They have to focus their energy into tolerating salt water. So they put so much energy in that, so they grow less tall. So these are some of the adaptive mechanism also we can see in trees and how they respond to their ecosystem or their physical characteristic, right? But still they grow and establish there, right? So perhaps fresh water coming from the rain is the only their source of fresh water, right? So this is how they adapt also. So they can grow in very hypersaline environment, but they of course prefer a more brackish or even fresh situation, and they will grow better. Okay, so I hope that answer your question.
Okay, yes, Doctor. And one of the another question is how we can differentiate between the mangrove species.
Okay, I forgot that one, sorry. So yeah, there are huge amount of diversity, if you like, of plants. Of course, the diversity of mangrove is not as high as terrestrial forest on land, but there are specific characteristic that you can see. So to define mangrove forest, like I showcased earlier, is to understand, or they must play or showcase these characteristics. So first of all, you can have a look at their roots. So the roots would be some of the primary characteristics, or signature characteristics of mangrove trees. You can see different type of roots first, to define or to recognize their genus and family. So you have Rhizophoriaceae, Rhizophora genus, showing or possessing stilt roots or prop roots, for example. And you can see Avicennia with their pencil roots, like snorkels. And then you can see also Soneraceae, having bigger pneumatophores, or pencil roots. And you can see knee roots as well. And then buttresses behind. I mean, if you go that closer to the terrestrial part, mangrove will show characteristics almost similar to terrestrial trees already. So they have buttresses. So that could be the first prominent way to identify or to differentiate mangrove trees. And then you can look at their the normal things that are being done or being carried out by botanists, by taxonomists. They will look at the flowers, they will look at the leaves, they will look at the seeds. So these will have different characteristics. You can learn more this by reading more about about botany of mangroves, to learn about specific colors, specific amount of petals, specific shape of leaves. So these are some of the identifying characteristic for species in mangrove.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Can we go for the last one, I guess, for Doctor? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, so this question is from Sintra. I think she wanted to ask about the research work in mangrove conservation. Doctor, please explain main things to focus on when conducting research work, the construction of method, hypothesis, and conclusions.
Okay. So that
she
you have to
asked.
decide that. Yeah. I mean, of course, every research would have their own specific objective, hypothesis. So you decide that with your supervisors. So if you're interested to do research and to be part of my mangrove community, yes, come and let's have a chat. So yeah, I'm very happy to actually. I mean, I hope by today that there will be so much interest on mangrove. Yeah, and yes, I mean, contact or if you're interested, you can contact me or be part of my mangrove first to get to know other researchers, other lecturers throughout Malaysia. Yeah, we have friends from Langkawi to Perlis, from Langkawi Perlis to Sabah and Sarawak, and we have friends all over the world. Yeah, in Philippines, in Indonesia, in Thailand, that is Southeast Asia, and then expanding throughout the world to do research on mangroves. So first of all, find your niche. What angle? Actually, if you go through my lecture just now, and from the first slide, every slide actually explain opportunities for research. Yeah? There are research in history of human civilization. Yeah, if you're into social scientists, into anthropology, into history, you can study that angle. If you love to learn about fish, yeah, I have friends around Malaysia, in other universities also, who's studying fish, studying benthic organism in mangrove, and how they connect or how they interact with other organisms within the same habitat and ecosystem. So you can come up with your own hypothesis, or methods to study fish, study what component of fish. And then of course, if you want to learn, you can also work with geographers, GIS experts to learn on how much loss, how much loss have our mangrove faced, and how much gains of area that we have in Malaysia, for example, because that alone, that topic is very confusing, because different papers, different articles, different document, if you read, they will give different number. So we, until now, we don't still, we're still confused why these documents say different number, why different numbers. So possibly there are different methods or materials they use to analyze. Some use Landsat, some use other imageries. So these will give different number. But of course, science advances because of these differences, discrepancies. So you argue, okay? So method A give this kind of result. Method B gives this kind of result. So you argue. So this is how science advances. You argue scientifically and don't take it emotionally. You fight. You argue because you want to get the right answer. Don't fight and then suddenly you don't want to talk to that guy anymore. So this is wrong. In scientific community, we argue scientifically, but we are friends forever. Most of us, we argue, we brainstorm, we fight, we present our ideas, and of course to advance science. Science, of course, I mean, you can, this applies to all fields in science, so including social science. So I mean, be professional and contribute to the advancement of science. So there you go. To answer that question, you can see, if you remember that slide explaining all the types of expertise that I could think of while building up that slide. But of course, we need more people. So from climate angle, you can see differently. From geography angle, you can see differently. From microbiology angle, you can see differently. Huge thing, so many things to study about mangrove, and so many things we don't know about mangrove just yet. So what I presented to you about one and a half hours ago was just a little thing that our scientific community already know about mangrove. So you have to advance it. Yeah? Go through again if you have time. Go through the slides and expand or detail out, yeah, on every aspect that needs to be researched. All of this, yeah, will contribute to advancement of science. All of this will contribute to our better management, better understanding, better protection, yeah, of mangrove. And the more we know about mangrove, the more you will love about mangrove. I promise you that. Yeah, and of course you can follow my website. Yeah, ukm.my/aldri for updates about my articles, about my lectures, and then of course you can join my mangrove Facebook group, like I told you earlier, to get updates also from all of us researchers on mangrove, yeah, fans of mangroves, communities that live around mangrove. We have over 2,000 members already. Yeah, when I first started the group about 3-4 years ago, I thought that group will attract scientists only, but apparently, yeah, we have fans of mangrove throughout Malaysia and throughout the world, yeah, who love Malaysian mangrove, who wants to learn about Malaysian mangrove, and yeah, to contribute to research on mangrove and management of mangrove. So you will see many more. I'm here to actually welcome and to actually introduce and to actually calling all of my researcher friends to appear in the next series, or maybe next year or the next few years, to also, yeah, introduce to you on the beauty of mangrove from their perspective, from their angles. Yeah, so you can see that in so many different angles. Yeah, like I told you, you can see the beauty from the space, you can see the beauty from land, and you can see the beauty from ocean. Yeah? So this is interesting, unique thing about mangrove. Yeah? Okay.
Okay, yes, thank you, Doctor, for sharing and answering all the questions. Because we are already at 4:30 students, we at the end of the sessions. Thank you again, Dr. Audrey, and sorry for everyone who sent the message earlier or sent the questions. We cannot answer. We didn't have much time to answer all the questions, but I already asked them to send an email to give them their email. So maybe later I'll just send it to Dr. Audrey. Okay, so yeah, one of the students also said, Nitesh Sivarajash, he said that I'm planning pursuing in biology, which is very good. Everyone, like Doctor mentioned earlier, we really need people doing the environmental science, doing the study, and there's a lot of things to cover. Okay, so yes, I hope that, yeah, you as young leaders will be like the young generations who will take lead of our countries, of our planet. So I hope that you all can learn from now and, you know, doing something good in the future for our environment. Okay, I think we end our session now. Doctor, thank you so much for being here with us today for our session. And students, I hope that you can also learn today a lot of things that Doctor mentioned earlier. And Doctor, can you help also to share with us your website in the chat box so the students can join later on? And also we have the survey form, which I need your help to fill in, and also the attendance form, yeah, for the e-certificate. And some of you asked about, regarding about the competition. As I mentioned earlier, the competition we will inform during the third sessions of webinar and also the fourth session. So please join us for the next session, yeah. Not now, because that one is actually at the end of our series. We have the quiz. So this quiz is actually endorsed by Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia, yeah, for your PAJSK markah curriculum and all. So we actually have this competition for you to join, and even top 5 that actually can receive the best top 5, you will get the certificate of not appreciation, a certificate of participation and sijil penyertaan dan juga pencapaian, ya, achievement certificate, sorry, achievement certificate. All right, thank you everyone for joining. But before that, can we, all of you, can you switch on your video? Switch on your video so that we can take a picture at the end of the session. And thank you so much for all of you are still staying since 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'm so happy to see many of you are here, very committed and listen to Dr. Audrey. Okay, so please switch on your switch on your video so I can take your picture. Okay, so I'm going to take a first screen. Okay, for the first screen. So because we have 8 frames, so first frame, everyone, when I say 1, 2, 3, just smile, okay? All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on, yeah. All right, got it. Okay, let me save for a while. Okay, this is the time. Okay, another frame. The second frame, please switch on your video. All right, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. I already got your picture. All right, let me save first. Very quick, save. And don't forget to fill in your attendance form here. For this certificate for webinar, there's no endorsement from the KPM here, only from MNS and UPM. So don't get confused. For the third screen, would you, do you all want to take a picture? You can switch on your video. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a picture. Okay, good. All right. Okay, I think that's all from now. Everyone, you all are doing okay there? Because I cannot hear any students sound. So yeah, are you still here? Are you all still here? Yes. Okay, so let me check the attendance form here because okay, now we have 332 students who actually respond. And we will open this attendance until another 5 minutes, yeah, because we won't open it this attendance form and after 5 minutes, because I know that some of you might have this because we live on Facebook, so students might just join to get the certificate. So I will open this attendance form only until 4:40. All right, okay. I think that's all we got time for today. Dr. Adri and also Dr. Natra and everyone in the team, Sashikala and also Wan Fatin, thank you so much for helping, assisting in this webinar. Okay, and lastly, on behalf of MNS, UPM, and our presenter, Dr. Adri, thank you for joining us today and have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and thank you. Don't forget before you go, fill in the form. Yeah, that is very important. The survey form and also the attendance form. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor. Oh yeah, all the secretariat, please stay as we are going to have a post-mortem, not for, just a discussion for the next session. Oh yeah, don't forget to join us for the next session on when is it? Oh yeah, on the 1st September, 1st September, we are going to have another session, yeah, with Dr. Annie.
Hi Puan Zalika, boleh tak saya stop recording?
Ya, boleh.
Okay, thank you.